it's not the real, I mean, the biggest thing to them. It doesn't matter. They don't get ethnic, tribal, what have you. I have seen them. I mean, I reported on them. I documented all they were doing every day of their existence from the first day. Go and check my diary. Everything is there. You get that now? So they are the real threats. They are those, if they do any charade election, they are those that can trigger anything. And for those who know better, even Peter Obi himself have kind of come out to tell you that if he tells you what they are doing to him behind the scene, a lot of you will not believe it. Alaye, no, they tell us that, okay, when you cuckoo scatter everything, all your billions, and some of them are not even in Nigeria anyway. Here you get. So what do you have to lose? Your what? Because that base is the base that Tinubu and APC Egbe dread most. And every day they will continue to either remind you that, what do you expect him to win? Do you wanted him to kinikoni? All of you are just noisemakers. There's nothing you can do. But guess what? You may not have the power to overturn them, the number and all of that. I mean, what do you call it? The power to overturn them, okay? But you see that number that you have is enough to chase all of them or bring down the entire government and the country, everything on their head. All it's going to take is just for somebody to say, oh, yeah, let's do it. But with no grief for anybody, you don't even have to be obedient before you get that revolutionary. You know what I mean? Because we still have the revolutionaries. The revolutionaries at the Showorianis camp as well. Remember? And they are also substantial too. So you think police didn't know? And if you begin to believe what's like, we know they grieve for anybody. And you remember that popular song, we no go gree, oh, we no go gree, lie, never. We no go gree. We know they grieve for anybody. It's going to be a revolutionary song in 2024. And they are already on alert. Okay? They are already on alert, the police. Not that they have anything they can really do, but it's just to tell you, all right, that they are worried. Put it that way. Now, let me show you this. I don't know if you have bank accounts, if you have accounts in all these banks, all right? So they said the Union Bank, Keystone Banks, and Polaris Bank, where they believe, let me tell you the full story, okay? Central Bank dissolved the board management of these three banks, okay? Now, then they appointed new board members to all of them. And why did they do that? They said in 2022, some new owners bought those banks. If you get account with them, you better go take your money out now. Because the last time I said something about that, somebody sent me a message and said, Union Bank better not shori buruku. May nothing happen to my 3,535 that is in my bank account there. And then they go no say more. All of us will turn to Boko Haram any moment with the situation in Nigeria. I said, Baba, go take out your 35 now. So the story, right? They said this is like a secret coded RNG sale since the Apex Court was involved. So this is coming from Tinubu's special investigator, the one that said Emefiele opened over 500 bank accounts abroad. And he also put 530 or so million pounds in a private fixed account, or fixed in a private account, in a bank account in the UK. That private investigator also said Emefiele, right, also bought banks. As a central bank governor, they said Emefiele bought banks, but he didn't buy them straight away. They said some of the people that Emefiele worked with in looting the Central Bank of Nigeria, forex this, forex that. So Emefiele helped them to buy the banks, and he also bought the banks for himself. There were like about 4 banks. So one is currently managed to wriggle out of it temporarily for now. So the 3, where they are, which they have taken action on. Okay, here is the story. They said in 2022, uh, so I mean, 1 or 2 of the banks, they were in debt. In fact, they were all in debt, and they were in debt in tune of trillions of naira. In fact, one of them, that of Polaris, was in debt of about 1.1 trillion naira. So what did they do? They decided to buy the banks. Okay, the federal government of Nigeria, who has a debt collector company called the AMCON, for those who are in debt to Nigeria, like that. So they go after you. They can take your properties and just make you pay. So what they now said, according to their Jaga Jaga report as well, they said, you see these banks, suddenly some people, I mean, Central Bank of Nigeria took over them, their loans, which then make them central bank days. So Central Bank now offer them for sale. And in that, in that is 2022, they sold one of the banks for 50 billion naira, with the arrangement that for the next 20 or so years, they will pay the debt of the bank, 1.1 trillion naira. Okay. Now, all of that were done. All right, great. This, however, the supposed owners, the shareholders of the bank, were not completely disclosed. It's like disclosing the information of 45% shareholders while you keep away 55%. The 55% that they keep away, they now keep them in shell companies in like Jersey, or these offshore accounts, them, offshore shell companies, right? So in Jersey. So it's like somebody who, let's say, Keystone Bank, for example. Let's say the Keystone Bank is worth, minus debt, is worth 250 billion naira. But because of the debt of like 1 trillion, that means Keystone is like a shell, it's nothing. However, but because it's still a bank that government has bailed out, that will then be paying back that debt in a matter of, So whoever is now going to be called the owner of the bank, could easily just call himself investor and just bring in 500 billion, 200 billion, 600 billion. So all the movement of that money is called money laundering. All right. However, the bank can now package it like it's an investment. But if it's an investment and this person is a stakeholder in this bank, 100% shareholders, where are their details? What about these particular people? We can't release that. So they now believe that these are the politically exposed people, Emefiele himself, and all of that stuff. They believe they are the ones who bought the banks for themselves with the stolen money and used the bank to launder so much money. Here you get, say if you want to do transfer that is as huge as, for example, let's say 100 billion naira or $10 million dollars. You know, at the bank is supposed to alert the financial fraud, something of the country, about, to be sure that the money is claimed for them to transfer, or else they will be in trouble. But if the bank itself, is the one that will process how the money is going to go, do the laundering for you and all of that, make it look legit and original. That's another like next level shit, right? That is what Tinubu's investigator said. They didn't give details per se. But I have to give that to the Premium Times. They did their own personal investigation. In fact, that is what also helped to make people like myself even understand more what is really going on with those banks. So what they have done right now is that by the law of their central bank, okay, so they have now taken all the bank. I mean, they have taken all of those guys who are board members, who are this or that. They have now taken them all off. So the explained, or let me, the one that is clearly explained. I mean, the is it called the shareholders whose shares and the companies who came together to put money together as shareholders in those banks, the ones that are clear, they will have to discuss what they're going to do with their shares. Okay. So this is going to be like, you know what? Central bank sold this to you. We're not selling it anymore. All right. How much have you put in the bank and all that? We're going to give you that back. And if you can't explain to us the owner of this also percentage, then they're going to forfeit everything to Nigeria. So at the end of the day, the banks will be handed over to those that are now politically connected with what do you call it? With the Tinubu's government, just like as it's going to always be, right? So let me see if I can even get that up. So they have, look at this now. They have nominated different board members for them, for the banks. And the good news is that they are not in any way shutting down the banks, which means the banks are still working. Their staffs are still the same. All right. Just new management. I mean, so new management or board that are now going to be running things. They are the new owners of the banks, as currently constituted by the central bank. And at some point, they said because of the depth of these banks, they may ask the three of them to merge together and become one at the end of the day. Now, that is where those of you who are working in these banks, that is where you can possibly begin to look for another job. When they start talking about merging them and all of that, because they are in debt. These are banks that their owners or their whatever or former owners have used them to take so much loans that they cannot never repay back. Bad loans, trillions of naira. You see those ones who took the trillions of naira, they are not in jail right now. And the ones who stole the central bank money, according to who stole the central bank money to buy those banks so that they can use those banks to launder money, right? Well, some of them have been arrested now, but they are not going to be in jail as well. So, and then for the new ones they are bringing in as well, you know, the political connection to all of this, Abi. So at the end of the day, now you, the ordinary people, will be the victim of all of this. So if your money did any of those banks, go take them out. I don't get Nigerian bank account, so I don't know how to advise people in this instance. But the first thing I would say is that for those who get money for bank, they go there, go take that money out. No grief for anybody, as they say. Now, what I'm going to do is that I am going to take calls again tonight. But I'm going to first go make myself another cup of tea, okay? So if you want to be part of this, you can, you can use the number on your screen, okay? It's just WhatsApp calls and direct calls too. Meanwhile, I have an announcement as well to make, okay? What do you call it? In the middle of January, by the 15th of January, 15th of January, I am going to have been officially then, right, handed the key to my new place, the new office and all that in Glasgow. So, and then, like officially as well, I would be, moving into the place by the 1st of February. Okay. But knowing the fact that I have an idea of the kind of, a studio I want to have. And indeed, the one that, like I have already said, where everyone who really wants, who really have something to share with the world or to share with me can physically come and be present. So I don't know if you probably know what I'm saying, right? I want a place that is so sort of a relaxing and at the same time, right? Inspirational, something that gets you to kind of do this more like, So therefore, I am going to come back here as agreed with the members of the temple, right? So I am going to raise a fund in order to, ask for your support. This time around, it's going to be support for me. Oh. I'm not going to raise fund for, I'm not raising fund for anything out there. All right. This is going to be you coming in, coming on like you always do to give the support to Mayegun. And I am still kind of putting all the pieces together. Okay. What and what am I going to actually need extra? The equipment wise, this is no longer like a small, this is going to be like a proper. So I said I should remind you of that, especially to those of you who have always, you love to remind me, Mayego, don't worry, anytime. I know. So if there's any time I'm going to need any of us in the temple, right? It's going to be now. So when I am ready, I'm going to have links where, you can voluntarily support, to support this. However, I have to say this to you, okay? You owe me nothing. And that is why I always remind everyone as well that when you give any support to anything Mayego does, it should be voluntary, unconditional. And I also know that you see all those all risers, ass leakers, and the rest of them, it's also going to be a field day for them where they're going to come and say, let us go and check. He said he's going to need the £15,000. Let's see who are those who are going to. People always kind of look around too. But the advice I'm going to give is that this is me telling you ahead of time, okay? Those of you who are the Mayegun's people, you are watching me right now. You're like, okay, yeah, Mayegun, just let us know when it is time, all right? I know you. And as it is. So this is me giving you the information ahead. And at the same time, I'm also giving this information ahead to those of you who kind of love to hang in the corner to check how is this going to be at the end of the day. I remember when I had that of the diaspora radio, okay? And donation is only something that is always once. Managing that same stuff is like forever. So about 3-4 years ago, there about now, right? On this same platform, my friends came through for me. And let me tell you this. My friends came through for me and they put together over £9,000 for me to get myself equipment, which metamorphosed from, for those who know better, right? Who know very well, when we started in the kitchen. Somebody, they love to remind me of that all the time. You remember when you started, when you were still in the kitchen? So today, the Mayegun you are seeing today is made by the people that are also watching this broadcast with you right now. I used to be in the kitchen, truly. I used to do this for fun, just on my phone. Then it became serious enough that I now have, quite some, expensive equipment that now supports my production to what you can now sit back and watch right now in your homes, right? They made that happen. So the progress of Mayegun is trackable. And this is going to be another one. So this is going to be the time we take Mayegun to that physical sport, right? And on like that. So to those who always want to see if it's actually possible or not, I also give you the notice ahead, okay? Because you're going to sit down there. You're going to watch it happen live on Mayegun's Diary Politico. So I'm putting together all that will be needed for a proper office, okay? Normally, you probably will be spending like 50, 60 grand pounds to set up the kind of, what I have in mind. However, I have a budget that is not really going to break the bank, and I'm going to count on you when I call. So thank you very much. I will be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere. Now you can grab the phone. I'm calling. So I have a caller, and I have actually taken the call in the last 2 minutes. I don't know if you're still there. Are you still there?
Patiently waiting.
Oh, God bless you, Baba. I thought I lost you there. The African Wahala. Baba, how are you today?
Yes, my brother, Michael. I'm good.
Please.
Bro, I'm doing very well. How are you?
Well, I'm very well too. Thanks for asking, Baba. Please go on.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. As usual, I have to thank you for your great works. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. Salute to you.
Thanks, man.
So, I have 3 parts to this conversation. The first one is, if Atiku Abubakar had been successful in 2019 and Obi was the vice president, by now in 2024, we would all be flaming Obi. I just wanted to put that out there. That's the first part of my contribution. The second part is the Nigerian police, their speaker, they can smell the energy in the air and they know that people are going to react. That's why they came up with that press conference trying to threaten the people from having freedom of speech. I mean, we all know that the Constitution allows people to have freedom of speech, but the Constitution is useless because nobody follows it.
That's right.
In fact, if you follow the Constitution, you are more than likely going to end up poor. So you are required to commit crimes because Nigeria is a criminogenic society. That's the second part of my contribution. And the third part is, when you eventually open the studio, God bless you, brother.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. I will be there in person, guaranteed.
That would be wonderful. Because
my
plan,
definitely.
Yeah, normally, Baba, you see, normally, I believe that, talking about the generosity of our people here, all of you, right? Today, I've got, one of the most standard, cameras you can find in the industry, expensive and very quality as well. That used to be my phone. You know what I mean now? Back then.
Yeah.
So I could pack all of this and just to pretty much still do fine. You get what I mean? But the purpose of that place is beyond just broadcasting. Okay, it is meant to be what do you call it, a symbol of something. Do you know what I mean? Eventually somewhere that when you walk in, you can easily feel that energy, okay, of that revolutionary stuff and stuffs like that. And you don't walk, when you walk into a studio and you're like, oh, it's just about this, or it's music, or it's no, I want you to walk in a place where you're going to be like, there is an energy here. That energy that, you know what I mean, that propels you, okay, to go out there and just do something and make an impact, especially when it comes to Nigeria. So, and I could take a long time before it happens. So I'm going to need everybody's help to make them happen now. You get what I mean? The African Wahala.
Like you always say, brother, like you always say, as far as you dream something, and you're never too young or too old to dream about something, unless it's an unrealistic dream. But as far as you dream about something that is achievable, then you can do it. So I salute you for for bringing this, speaking it, believing it, and you will receive it. It's
I
going
know.
to come to fruition,
I know.
and we will be there. We will support
I
you.
know.
I also I try to imagine what it's going to be like in the studio where
Just
you're
imagine
making
it.
giving your presentation.
Yeah.
Right now you're presenting. We don't get a chance to distract you. So when we start distracting you, then because we're going to be laughing, so we're going to have side comments.
You
It's
know,
going to be a great time. So I
it
just
is
look
going
forward
to
to it, man.
be, and the beautiful thing about it is that it is also going to be to give us for the first time in a long time, right? It's going to give us
Yeah,
varieties. Now everyone can actually have
yeah,
varieties of Mayegun's diary political. It's not just Mayegun sitting talking and showing things and all of that alone. Now we can actually have physical presence, right?
yes,
And
sir.
it's one of these
Yeah,
days and the rest of
man. I
that,
look forward.
like
I look
it's
forward to that.
something to look forward to. Baba.
Yeah, I look forward to that evolution. But thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time. Thank you for your great work.
Bless you, Baba. God
Blessings.
bless you too. So you have a good one, the African Wahala, brother.
Yes, sir.
So give me once. Okay, I think I got that now. The line is still open. Okay, I have another. Oh God. Okay, it won't even let me finish that. To see, I have another caller before it sort of gets disconnected. So what I'm looking at is, I mean, I don't know if I can actually put that in words. All right, we are going to do so great, right? That ours is going to go beyond just having this conversation now. Okay, like I said yesterday, it's going to be about actually, like, doing things that we believe should be done, not telling, you know, saying things that should be done, hoping that they will be done. Now, this time we're going to put more real energy into it, where, I mean, like I said, I don't know
Ours
if I
is
can
going to
put
go
it into
beyond
words. Okay.
just
So,
having this conversation.
hello
Okay, like I
there.
said, hello
Do
there.
you
Going
mind
well.
muting that?
My
Yes, sir.
yes, I already did. I know you're going to say that.
God bless you. Please. How are you?
Yeah, my Egun General.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year.
Same to you. How are you?
Thank you. This again is Anthony from Texas.
Bless you, Anthony. How you doing, sir?
Yeah. Very, very, very well. I'm glad this is my first time calling in this year, and I am so excited. If you remember, I was the last, maybe one of the last persons to give you a push on the main Temple of Truth that you are
Yes.
just announcing to us is coming to life.
Yes.
All right. I can't wait for
I know.
the link to be up there.
It will
We
be.
will all make that happen, and
Amen.
by the special grace of the universe,
Amen to
that is
that.
where the truth about our dear
The
country is.
universe will come into our favor that day.
Yes,
So by the 15th, which is going to be on Monday, this next
yes,
Monday, I am going to
correct.
share a GoFundMe link. I'm going to
Okay.
share a PayPal link. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to share, for those in the UK, for example, I'm going to share a bank account link. Now, these three,
Okay.
I'm going to run
Mm-hmm.
this for the next 2 weeks, so that you see what I mean. Like, I want to be there by February, and
Great,
you know what I mean.
great,
Like,
great.
I want what would delay me from getting in there to be the work they are doing to put up that place. It's such a beautiful place.
Correct.
I love the place in a way that when you have a place, when you have a studio where you have what do you call it, protection right from the
Mm-hmm.
door, where everyone that comes into the building, in both places now, right? When everyone that comes into the
Yeah.
building, they are screened. And if they are not, if there's no green light to say, okay, let them come up, they will never come up.
Yes.
Do you get that?
Correct.
So I
Because
am
you never
so
know. You
sort of
never.
like,
You
yeah, I'm,
never
I'm
know.
going to a place whereby I'm going to be a totally new person, more than what you have known about
Fantastic.
Mayegu. I'm buzzing for it, to be honest.
We
Anthony,
are buzzing for it. We are all buzzing for
thank
it
you.
because without my Egun diary, I'm sure that a lot of us would have even been blind
Mm,
as to what is actually the truth behind what is going on in our country. Like I said last time we talked,
so,
we are tired of even talking about all the all the abnormalities going on in our country.
mhm.
There's nothing good to talk about the country now. It is just the same cycles.
we are talking about the same, we are repeating the same thing. And as the day goes by, the worst comes up to the news. We keep getting even the most depressing news. We have to create our own narrative.
Yes.
And that is what the Mayagun Diary platform provides us.
That's right.
So the reason why I said I must call in today,
Yes.
today is not the first time you made an announcement as in relation to the
Yes.
Temple of Truth coming up live.
Yes.
You made it yesterday or day before yesterday. I listened to it and I said I'm going to call you to remind you that
Thank you so much, Anthony.
happened to be yes, towards the end of last year. I said, look, guy, get this thing rolling. And you told me that time that
Yes, I
you
was
have sent
working on
out
it.
agents that they are coming in and all that and all that. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever thing that is going on in Nigeria, the police can say oh whatever they want. And in fact, the police have actually they have gone. In fact, they have no limit to how low they can go now. Because why they are there telling Nigeria they cannot use the word no agree for anybody. The military is out there telling us they don't agree for anybody for terrorists. They don't agree for terrorists. They don't agree for criminals.
Yes.
So that automatic. No, they don't even deserve a response. The military have responded on behalf of the Nigerians, and they have totally been rubbished. So what is there to talk about anymore, other than the fact that their job is to be carrying handbag for the wife of politicians?
Jeez.
In fact, what they do, I know of young men that travel from the diaspora to Nigeria, and the moment you call any police commissioner, even if you wanted 4, 5 policemen to accompany you to the village, they will easily just send them to you, so long as you pay them the amount they demand of you.
Private police security
Yes.
work.
I can tell you that if you know anybody who is going to Nigeria, I can give you a number to call. If in fact they are the one asking you how many police do you need.
Wow.
Is as low as that. So they don't deserve any response. In
Anthony.
corruption crisis going on, all those things, yeah. So they are all in the open. When we talk about, I spoke on a space today and they were talking about the better edu case, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, when the head is rotten, what do you expect from the entire body? It doesn't make sense. And the truth of the matter in Nigeria today, as relates to corruption, is that Tinubu government is the last government to talk about corruption, fighting corruption. You cannot be the head of a crime. It's just like the drug. What is the king of drug?
Which of them?
Cartel.
Pablo
Anyone. Pablo Escobar or Chapo de Guzman.
Oh yeah,
Yes, in Mexico. Imagine those kingpins telling you that they will help to fight drug trafficking in Mexico,
and you will believe them.
And you believe them. This makes absolutely no sense.
No, it doesn't.
So, and again, I was opportunity to tell them that look, as far as I am concerned, anybody starting from a better edu to any young Nigerian, down to Fela Toye, down to whatever names are, any young Nigerian that is part of APC deserve whatever they get, because they didn't go there for Nigeria, they went there for themselves.
Absolutely. If anybody says I'm going to APC because you want to work to make Nigeria great,
we want to work to make Nigeria good.
Like
it is extremely nonsense. Look at the Daniel Boala. Daniel Boala was singing like a parrot. Yeah. The money that he collected from Atiku has finished. So he's now beginning to work his way into the APC. The guy there in the UK with you, whether he's in the US, I don't know where he is now. Reno Mokri led a protest to go and disgrace Tinubu in London when he came.
Yes.
He is working his way now into APC. And then this other Yoruba guy, you just played one of his clips now, a couple of minutes ago, who has been talking about being this guy who is
Segun Showunmi.
Segun Showunmi. Unfortunately, I have been respecting him this couple of weeks.
I know some of you respect him too. But the day he came out, because last week, right? Anthony, I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
Was it last week or last year, towards the end of last year? Suddenly from nowhere, this guy just was like, just turned on the Obidient, and it was like Peter Obi's stuff is an ego agenda. I was like, what?
Oh wow. I didn't hear that one.
You need to. I didn't play it here too. Maybe that's why you probably didn't catch up when we missed out on it. Okay. This guy was going lyrical. The Igbos, they are the one who truncated the First Republic. They are the one who shaking the cock in the corn. They were supposed to know that they caused the war. They did. Baba, I was filming, but anyway, Anthony, continue.
Let me just round off by saying that for that Shegun, the last of his appearance on TV that I listened to, when he was talking about the youth clamoring for him to become the next chairman of PDP, to be able to reshape the party and blah blah blah. That was the last of his appearance that I listened to. But again, it's not even only him. You see, look, Daniel Boala can say what he wants, that Nigeria is like a plane and Tinubu is the pilot. Nigeria is a sinking ship and Tinubu is the pilot of that ship. What people are seeing are those that inside that ship, and there's a lot of food and drinks to share and money to share. So everybody, they don't care how that ship is sinking. All they care is how to clinch on it, jump into it, and grab part of that food and that money they are seeing being shared there. So it is as simple as that. So he can jump into the ship all he wants, but that is for him.
Thank you.
I have no respect for people like that. So I'm going to sum up here by saying the real temple of truth will come to life by the special grace of the universe. Amen. Thank you, and God bless everybody.
Amen, and God bless you too, Anthony. You are like, you're a star. So somebody said, Mayego, it is time to have a Wazobia. Well, it's not just Wazobia, and all the languages that people can actually speak. This is time for me to experiment. All right. When everything is set, okay, and I show all of us the studio that this is done, you're gonna love it. Now I can have people here who are either from any part of the UK or even here in Scotland, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Dundee, Aberdeen, and all these places. People that could come in and just drop by and say, okay, yeah, let's have our chat in all the languages. I said, I'm going to give you varieties. I'm going to give you content. You get that now? I'm going to give you things that are going to enrich your lives, enrich our lives. Content that are political, because that's what I deal with, right? They are political and they are well analyzed. Opinions from other people. This time around, I'm going to invite people. I can invite people to come down to the studio. I can pay for people's hotel to sleep over just to show up for a shooting in my studio. That kind of stuff. So I'm going to give us varieties. I'm going to make this more easier. You see, once the studio is also up, now the Diaspora Radio Online, like we are watching, right? As you're watching this broadcast now, right? Some of you would rather just plug in your headsets so that you don't want to be caught watching them because you are somewhere that you don't want them to possibly you don't want them to catch you watching a YouTube or something. Now you can plug into the Diaspora Radio Online in your car, in the office, all these places, like a podcast. You can listen live. You can listen to the replay. Now, I'm going into that point where I can now start talking about building the apps, okay? For Diaspora Radio, for example, building the website for Mayegun's Diary Politico, where my content, where you can even also read my articles. I'm going to be writing. Yeah, I'm going to be writing now, publishing and all of that stuff. It's going to be a great deal, and I'm going to be looking forward to people I'm going to be working with, especially those who are also going to come and contribute to all these ideas inside the studio. So my plan is that hello there. I've got a caller, by the way. Hello.
Hello, Mayego. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you too. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Mayego. Happy New Year, by the way. Happy New Year. How is your family? How is everybody?
Well, we thank God, though. How is yours and everybody?
We thank God, Mayego. I'm calling from, it's your one of your guys calling from Abuja. Hey. Joseph Obunna Aja.
Say that again. Joseph, you said, right?
Yeah, Joseph from our city capital, from the zoo capital. That's what I'll call it.
From the FCT. It's
Mm.
because of the way you pronounce the
Yeah,
name that I'm
yeah,
like, I think I've seen that Joseph name somewhere, but I'm not
yeah.
sure. Or if I heard you right. So,
y-
how are you, Joseph, by the way?
y- I'm good. I've called you like twice or like 3 times. We have
We've
spoken.
spoken
Yeah,
before, exactly.
no
So,
problem.
I wanted to remember, like, have we met
Yeah,
before anyway? So, now thanks so much for calling in
yeah.
tonight, Baba. How are you again?
Thank you. Thank God, thank God, Mayego.
Bless you.
Thank you so much for your program. Thank you once again. I'm one of your favorite program and my mentor. You're always my mentor.
Bless you,
I
Baba.
love what you say. I always linked into you just that
Thank you.
for some time now, at least for the first time for this year, 2024. Mayegu,
Brother.
your program tonight inspired me so much.
Hmm.
For the Daniel Buala, Mayegu,
Baba.
I have been one of your adding listener of this program, and I learned one thing. You always said it.
Hmm.
You said you're not saying this program for anything. This after we have listened, eh?
Mm-hmm.
We are not saying we should believe whatsoever you
You
said,
don't have to
but
agree with me. Hmm.
I don't have to agree with you too. But at the same time, Mayego, I'm in Abuja.
Hmm.
Mayego, I'm in Nigeria
Hmm.
as well. Mayego, I've seen so many. Whatsoever you say, do you know that one thing again that strikes me is, as you're saying it, I know that so many people disagree with you.
Hmm.
It's just like one certain time I'm in a bar with my friends, and he happens to be my friend, Sha. He's working with EFCC. I'm telling you now, he's working with EFCC.
Hmm.
I don't have to mention his name.
No.
So he was telling me that Tinubu is everything because he's working for the government and they're paying him now. Is In fact, whatever they do is right. I see.
Mhm.
He's not talking to me as I'm talking to you now. He doesn't talk. He doesn't talk to me
Like
now
you
for like
don't talk
2 3
to one
weeks.
another. No. But
Yes, yeah, him personally. If I saw him, I can talk to him. Do you know
hmm.
what I? Do you know what is angry?
Right.
I told him, look at yourself. Are you feeding well? You're working with EFCC. You're working with one of the agencies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're supposed to have your own car. Maybe you work in a company. Please, I need this car.
Hmm.
You have the car. You'll be
At
paying. They
least
will
to
be
show
taking it
that
gradually.
you have a job, something that is life,
He,
Hmm.
yes, very good. And I told him, you're supposed to have house of your own, not that you're living in apart my neighbor. Maybe I don't need to tell you where he's living. Me that is speaking to you, I think I even live better than him. He's working, but where I live, how I feel, what I did is better than him that's working with government. I'm supposed to be living well more than I do. That I say like
But they don't really
having
pay
doing one or
them
two things.
well.
I'm
It's
doing.
corruption that make government worker live well. You know that.
Eh, Yes, but look at
Like
what
it should not
the
be
thing
as
that
bad
struck me.
as the way his own is, yeah?
Yes.
I think I
Now
get
it's
you.
even it's even bragging that is since he does not ask me for money to do this one, he's living well. I say, he's angry is that I say, are you feeling well? I'm not like insulting him, but I'm just trying to let him know that what you're doing. Look, you're working for government in FCT, not even a state. That you're supposed to live fine. I know that when I see you, I say, yeah, this person is living well, okay. But the condition you are in, you're glorifying the government that you are living because they are paying you salary, is still pen. That even that
Well,
is not
they're paying
anything. Me
somebody's
because
salary. There's also this idea, Joseph, there's this idea about people in Nigeria that is pretty much that
okay,
of a slavery. You know what I mean? Like if you get paid,
exactly,
they are not doing you a favor.
yes,
They are paying for your job. You worked for that money. Do you get what I mean now? Like
for
you do not have to
yes,
praise the government who pays you and say, because they are paying me, so anything they do, good or bad, it's okay because like the money is your sweat, it's your pay. They
exactly,
have to pay you
yes,
anyway. Okay.
yes. I'm trying to let him know that, but
Hmm.
for to him now, they are doing him a favor because they give him a job and he's doing working,
I see that.
suffering and
Hmm.
smiling. They are doing him a favor. I'm trying to let him know, no, it is not a
It's
favor.
not a
This
favor.
is what you work for. Yeah, it's what you work for, and they're giving you, and they're not even giving you what you're supposed to. This is not even
What
what
you
you're supposed
really
to earn
what you
because
really
you're
want.
working.
That's what another one I wanted to say there,
Ye-
Joseph. Okay. I said like the people who are supposed
Yes,
to really be mad. so mad, if not because of corruption with the government, are the workers. Everyone who is working anywhere in Nigeria today as a worker, whether you are like a handyman or you are like a private company worker or government worker, look at how much devaluation they have devalued that naira and see what your salary is worth. It should always, every time you get paid, you are supposed to be getting mad with these people. Because no matter how much they pay you, they've devalued it. It's almost worthless.
Exactly.
How can you be defending such?
Exactly.
If you have to, if you get sense, how would you defend such?
Yes, exactly. But as I'm talking to you now, Mayegu, 60 to 65 to, let me just say 60 to 65% of them are seeing it. It is a favor that the government is doing for them. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I've listened to you. You have empowered me with what you're saying.
Bless you, Baba.
But today, now when I'm telling it to them, they are seeing it that I'm just criticizing the government. Is it because that the government is doing them well? Mayegu, and that thing is this. But that was why I've told so many of the police. That's one program I listen to. Most of them knows me. What is 9 o'clock now? Before it's 8 o'clock. What is 9 o'clock now? You know, once I say, you, Joseph, I started watching this your program. They don't know what I learned from the program. I'm trying to bring them into, because of the poverty. They've already put their mind, they've already conditioned their mind to that this life that you are living now is okay for. In fact, you are even living well. I'm trying to. Sometimes I even get angry. I say, it's not even getting angry. But the more you get angry, you say, I better leave this one.
You know,
I better leave this one. Making
Joseph.
God, I pray. My prayer is that they should. Most of them, I'm praying, begging, please. Can you listen to this? Just give it 1 or 2 times to listen, so that you can pick. I know when you listen to this program,
like
1, 2, 3, 4 times.
It's like trying to change. That's the difficult part. See, I have some people who have been like, you see, the same way you have been watching Mayegun for a while, and you said, oh, you've enriched my mind. I've learned a lot and all of that stuff. There are people who have been watching me for the past 7-8 years, like others too. And the reason why they are here is because they are waiting for the day that all of you can just say, Mayegun, you really you fuck up. They are not here to learn anything. It's not impacting. So we want people to listen.
Some of them